Hey, what's up? Hello. Welcome to this week's tarot forecast. Let's get into it like we always do. So, the first thing I want to talk about is what inspirations are going to come up for you this week in your life and your business. And I actually just saw a card that is flipped over. So I'll take it. So the card that was already flipped over in the deck is 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 of Pentacles. So the first thing that came up was artistic inspiration. So this could be an inspiration to create something new. This could be an inspiration to work harder at something that you have been working on for a while, especially if we think about, all of the pentacles that this person already has hung up on the wall. So it could be new artistic inspiration, inspiration to continue to do something you've been doing for a while, and this could also be something like showcasing your work. By showcasing your work, it brings inspiration into your life because by showcasing your work, you get other people's feedback, other people's reactions, and they can view your art or your work or whatever in a way that you probably don't view it yourself. And so it could be really inspiring to take their viewpoints and take that engagement and morph it into something new. So that could be some things that are really inspirational this week is working. And if we think about 8 as an intuitive number, this could also mean new intuitive inspiration. It could be maybe you are working on your intuitive skills. I mean, pentacles usually traditionally mean like physical on earth something, but I'm also kind of hearing like maybe by doing something physical on earth, you connect more with your intuition. So this could be, like lighting a candle, like that is something physical, but like some people look at flames, like they flame gaze, I think is what it's called, like, and meditate on the flame, or it could be, journaling, or it could be doing even like an exercise practice or even going on a meditative walk. So this could be bringing something physical in doing something physical as a way to connect to your intuitive inspiration. And it could be a way, or this could even be like maybe you've been lighting candles, going on walks, drawing your own tarot cards, something like that. And maybe there's like a new ping, like a new aha moment that comes out of, consistently building that practice. There's like maybe some inspiration is how you're consistently building your practice this week. So I guess since we're talking about maybe intuition, let's draw a card for how your guides specifically talk to you or how they might try to get in touch with you this week. Okay, so that was way too many cards that fell out. That was like 7 cards. So that could be maybe there's a lot of ways they're trying to get a hold of you. Okay, I just want one card. One card, please. One, I will take 2 if you got to give me 2. All right, let's see. All right, we had one card fall out. Thank you very much. Interesting. We have the Tower. Interesting. We have the Tower. So, that's really interesting that we were just talking about really building something up, showcasing, working hard, having a consistent routine. And that is a place of inspiration. And the next card we have is with how your guides are speaking to you. And we have the Tower. And the Tower traditionally means like, I kind of like to think of it like an oh no or an oh shit moment. And so it kind of reminds me of like people who like, oh, my car wouldn't start and I really had to get to this place. And so I, got a ride to the place and I ended up breaking my foot or something. You know what I mean? Where it's like the universe is clearly telling you like, I don't think you should go. Like, so they don't let your car start or something like that. So that could be maybe something you feel. So how your guides are, potentially speaking to you this week is like something that you feel is like a big, oh no, or why did this happen? Or you feel like things are crumbling down because sometimes with the Tower, it's like you really built this thing up, but it was really unstable. And so it's kind of toppling down with the Tower card to like, as a reminder of like, no, you need something more stable. You need a more stable foundation. Otherwise you're going to get like, I'm hearing too big for your britches, which you is that like a phrase from 1943? Like, but something like that. And so this week, maybe how they're trying to speak to you is like something if you feel is crumbling down or you feel like you're constantly being hit with bad luck this week, it could just be signals from your team, from your spiritual team of like, how to redirect you, or how to like get you somewhere more stable that maybe you don't see. And maybe the only way they can like get through to you this week is by putting a block in your way, or your car won't start, or you lose something that you really need this week, and then next week is when you find it and you're like, well, I don't even need this anymore, and it's like, well, maybe then you didn't actually need it or something like that. And I also want to put this disclaimer out here that like I personally am not someone who believes that everything happens for a spiritual reason. Like for instance, if you get, diagnosed with an illness or something like that, like something major, I'm not always of the belief that like that is a direct reflection of your spiritual health or your spiritual wellness. Like that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm like talking about like little things, like you lose your keys and you're running late, or like, your car doesn't, I don't know why. Oh, I hope I'm not predicting something with my car. I keep coming up with car examples for some reason. You know what I mean? Like things like that, or, there could be like a miscommunication with a client or something this week that kind of sets you back another week. But it's just kind of, remember, it's your spiritual team asking you to take a second to like evaluate your castle, evaluate, the consistent habit you've been having, and like, is it sustainable? Is it a solid foundation? Is there a way you need to redirect? So kind of just taking those messages as like a signal to redirect, and not necessarily as like a signal of your spiritual health, your spiritual well-being, or like how good you are. Because I know some people can use roadblocks and spiritualness in that sense, but I'm thinking more just like of gentle redirection reminders. So I guess since we're talking about the tower and something, missing or happening, for this last card, let's ask or talk about ways you can stay grounded and balanced this week, as maybe you're experiencing some type of tower moment, some type of brief roadblock. But it is interesting because for the inspiration, there is like a consistent building towards something. So it could be a consistent building towards something. Like for instance, if you're like going to launch a website for your business this week, and then you find out like, oh, I can't launch it on that day, or the day you think you're going to launch it, like a big technical thing happens. It's like you're consistently building, and then a tower moment happened, and it's just a way to like refocus. I don't know why I feel like I had to say that again, but I did. So this last card is what will ground you. Interesting. We have the Three of Pentacles. Interesting. We have a pentacle, then a major, and now another pentacle. So the Three of Pentacles, I always think about collaboration when I think of this, when I see this card. If we see these three people, they are talking about how to build this church, or how to, finish the church, furnish the church. What are the new, what are the next steps for this church? And 3 is a really collaborative number. So maybe one way you can be grounded and balanced this week is by falling back on your network, asking for support where you need it. This also kind of reminds me, maybe I had to say the website example because it also kind of reminds me of like, for instance, if you are building a website for your business or for whatever, and it doesn't pan out, or you can't launch it in the time frame you thought you could launch it. This also kind of reminds me because this person on this bench is talking to the, what is it, like a friar and I don't know, someone in a fun polka dot cape. And is friar a word? I don't know. Anyway, he's like talking to them. So, and like he doesn't have much. Like he has, I don't know what this thing is in his hand, but you know what I mean? He doesn't have like this fancy website or this fancy marketing strategy or anything like that. He's just talking how he is from the heart to these two people, and they're still listening, they're still engaged. And so maybe that's something that you can like, whenever, if you hit like a roadblock this week, falling back into like a collaborative mind, like, okay, how can I call on my network for support? How can I call on my friends and family for support, whether that be emotional or physical support? Again, we have pentacles, so it could potentially be something physical. Like I said earlier, of like this roadblock asking you for a redirection, maybe how you stay grounded as you're redirecting is by like paring the thing down and doing it, my brain is saying like bare bones, or like not making it so complicated. So simplicity could be maybe a theme for this week on how to stay grounded, just like keeping things simple. Because even if we look back on the inspiration card we had with the Eight of Pentacles, all of these pentacles are the same. It's like consistent doing this very simple circle with a pentacle with no, not a pentacle, with a star in the middle of it. So keeping simplicity could be the grounding theme for this week. So I hope that helps. I would be really excited to hear your thoughts, hear how your week is going. Let me know in the comments. Like this video if you like this video. It helps the channel grow and reach other people who might be interested in these tarot forecasts. And I will see you next week. I hope you have a great one. Bye.